What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Hit the Book Season 3, Episode 49. Just me and Ace here today. No Jesse, no Mackie. Mackie is on vacation. Jesse away for work. I believe SummerSlam is this week. I could be wrong, but one of those big WWE events, so he's traveling all over the place. I think he's in Cleveland. Nowhere too exciting, but yeah, I did see on ESPN. I think McAfee was talking about it today. We're in or yesterday, where I think it's SummerSlam. I WrestleMania. I don't know. I don't keep up with it, but that is where Jesse is. Mackie's on vacation. Just me and Ace this week. Ace, I'll hand things off over to you. Then we'll get started on things.
Yeah, like you said, shorthanded crew this week, but still in for a good one here. NFL kind of heating up a little bit. Training camp's been underway, so we got a lot of good stuff coming out of there. First game just around the corner. The MLB in full swing. Our Red Sox kind of taking a turn back here lately, but still a lot of season left, a lot to be seen. Saw that trade deadline go by in the MLB as well, so a lot to cover off here. Got the Olympics going too, so that should be
Yeah, I was gonna
fun,
say
fun to
USA.
watch a gold come from our team USA. They kind of turned it on like we predicted.
I wasn't able to watch today. Did you watch today?
No, I didn't. That was the times are so tough, especially in Europe and stuff.
I was gonna say Wednesday at 3 o'clock. Like, thank God. I'm blessed to be able to say I work from home 4 days a week and I can
Mm.
watch most of that kind of stuff. But like the one day I'm in office, I'm like, fuck. Of course, they play on Wednesday.
Yeah, and we should get started off with the NBA here, honestly, because I think it's pretty interesting to see what happened. I saw something called the KD effect. Now that he's in the lineup, they're up 20
Yeah.
at the half instead of down double digits to South Sudan here in the actual Olympics.
Yeah, so we'll start with that first game. USA men's basketball defeated Nikola Jokic in Serbia on Sunday, 110-84. USA and South Sudan faced off today. USA did win the game. I think they whooped them, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They
Do you
handled
have
that.
the final score? I forgot to edit that in there.
No, let me. I was looking at the other day though. That's the game where
Dude, it's
Tatum didn't play though. Jason Tatum didn't even play. He wins the championship.
yeah.
Makes first
Him
team
and
All NBA
USA won 103-86 today. So their
today.
last win over South Sudan was a 1-point win. They come out today with almost a 20-point W. They're 2-0 in the Olympics. I don't know who do you know who their next game is against? It's so hard for me to find this schedule.
Well,
Is
on the
it?
ESPN, it's like buried. You probably have to download the
That's what
NBA
I
app
mean. Like
to look into it.
I was looking online or on the App Store today. I was like, is there like an Olympics app I'm supposed to have to check this? Because
Yeah.
ESPN and the score are so like they don't show me box
You can
scores,
get the
nothing.
box score, but you have to go online. Look at that. It's crazy. Like, you have
Like
to you
it's
scroll
not
all
on
the
the
way
app.
down
You
on the
saw
Oli
that
no, you have
too,
to s
right?
yeah, you have to scroll all the way down to the bottom of the Olympics thing. They have the box score of the game. You click it, and then it launches your browser. It's
So
terrible.
go through the box score for today.
Today's we had 12 from LeBron, 10 from Booker, 18 from Adebayo.
I was gonna say I heard Adebayo was the guy today.
Off the bench, he went 8 for 10 shooting, so, I mean, only 3 from the outside. Durant had a good game, 14 points on 5 shots.
His point total was set at 14.5. I did see that before the game.
The minutes were so split today. Tatum was in the starting lineup today, so love to see that. 4 points on 4 shots. Steph Curry, only 3 points, 0 for
I saw
6 from
I
3.
saw that today, and I saw Embiid didn't play at all, right?
Embiid did not play, no.
Yeah, Embiid was the one today that didn't play. Last game it was Halliburton and Tatum.
They had
I
6
think
guys in double digits, though.
there's going to be one of those guys every game that just can't touch the floor. There's so many guys that, like, if that starting five starts out hot, that already shortens the bench by someone.
And then Sudan has only one guy really coming off the bench, 1 or 2. They're playing the
Who's
full game.
who's their main guy? Like Wenyan Gabriel?
Yeah,
I
but
saw him as
he
their
played
flag
terrible today.
bearer.
He had 2 points today, 10 rebounds, 2 points. This
Ugh.
guy, they had a forward that put up 24 though. That's a good game.
Yeah.
Guy put up 18, but nothing crazy. I know they have that. They have what's his name? Thor. Isn't he off the bench? Isn't he the guy that's on
I don't even
Charlotte?
I don't even know. I didn't watch the last game against South Sudan either. So the
Oh, I
only guy I
watched the
know
end.
on South Sudan is Gabriel because he was their flag bearer or whatever.
Actually, I can tell you who they're going to play next because it's all in the group stage right now. They play Puerto Rico,
Oh,
who's
they'll whoop
who's
them.
0-2.
Yeah. That might be like today was what, a 29-point spread and they still didn't cover?
Yeah, but that one might be 35 plus, maybe
Yeah,
back to
that
that
I was
44.5.
that truly might be a 42.5-point spread.
Canada's really doing their thing in the Olympics too to start. I mean, that team is pretty stacked. That's one team that could push the USA for the title.
Can it be? I don't know how the pools and all that stuff works. Can it be USA Canada in the
I don't know. I think the top
final?
3, it'll all come down to seeding because the top 3 seeds, Canada will win theirs, USA will win ours, and then Germany and France are both 2-0 in their group. There's 3 separate groups, so I think there's probably gonna be 3 leaders and then 1 wild card. So it'd be either Australia, Spain, or France.
Okay.
Maybe Serbia if Jokic's team can grab another win.
Yeah. I don't know. Serbia won today, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're 1-1.
They beat Puerto Rico 107-66, and the USA just beat Serbia by what, 10 last game, 12 last.
Yeah, that's that's not gonna
I
be.
mean, when is this? So it's only 2 weeks. So when's the pool play over? The end of this week, and then they get into like the. So I was saying, do you know when the uh like
The
medal
group
play
play?
starts? Like I don't even
Well,
know what the terminology is.
the group play ends on August 2nd. That's when the last games will be. On
So that's Friday.
August 6th will be 6th and 8th will be 1, 2, 3, 4 the quarterfinals, then the semifinals. Quarterfinals on the 6th, semifinals on the 8th, and the gold medal and bronze medal game on the 10th of
So
August.
both on next Saturday.
Yeah. Mm, yeah. Yeah, a week from Saturday.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, definitely some good stuff to keep up with. Like we said, USA 2-0 with a game against Puerto Rico coming
On
up.
Saturday.
Hopefully,
On
yeah, on
Saturday.
Saturday. That shouldn't be too exciting of a game. But the other news that we have in the sports world, football is officially back. The 2024 Hall of Fame game will take place on Thursday, August 1st. When you're hearing this, this will be today. For us, it is tomorrow at 8 p.m. at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, Ohio. The game will feature the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears. First, and I am happy to do this for the first time of this year. I'm going to load up the MGM app, hit that NFL tab, and we're going to talk some football lines. I know it's
2
Tyson
cool
Bagent.
teams, though. 2 cool
Yeah,
teams at least, and
Tyson Bagent starting for the Bears. I don't think you're going to see CJ Stroud in this. I don't
no.
think they've announced anything, but I know the Bears are going with no starters. Bears plus 1.5, Texans minus 1.5. Over under at 31.5 with the Bears at plus 105 on the money line. Will you be betting on this game?
Oof, I feel like now that we've talked about it, I have to. I definitely will be then. And I like the Bears. I like Taysom Baggitt.
I like
We saw him in the prime time. What on was it Thursday Night Football,
Thursday
Monday
Night
Night
Football.
Football? Yeah, against the Raiders. I mean, didn't he get a win as well? No.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah.
I'm on the Bears. I was literally for that exact reason, just because I like him, and this is not a
The
confident pick.
Bears
This is
play for
more.
the Hall of Fame games. It's an
I was
old
gonna.
school team.
This is literally like I don't know. I could just see the Bears doing real good in preseason. Then obviously the regular season. I think the Bears are way overhyped this year. I could see them like do just enough in preseason. Obviously not this game. There's no starters playing.
Mhm.
But even like looking ahead, I could see Caleb go out first drive touchdown, first drive touchdown. Everyone's like, oh my god, we're
This
going to the
team's
playoffs.
great.
This
Yeah.
team's great, and then they get there and they win 6 games in the regular season. Like I could so see that happen. But I'm gonna go with the Bears tomorrow night in the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah, they've been followed a lot more this offseason too. I mean, both these teams have a lot of hype leading up into this year. Texans with big shoes to fill, and then the Bears with that
Bears are expected to be like the Texans of last year.
flashy new offense. They have a lot of new pieces too with that running back they brought in from the Eagles. They with Swift, they brought in Keenan Allen. They just
Both
gave
of
them
these teams with new running backs,
they
Mixon
drafted
and Swift.
yeah, that's true. We have Mixon on the other side. Then they brought in O'Dunn's too, and then they just paid DJ Moore. He's like what the 6th or 7th highest paid wide receiver in the NFL now.
Yeah, what's your opinion on that?
I think that's a good take. I think 4 years is a good time frame for that. They're not really paying everybody else a lot of rookie deals on both sides of the ball. That means Keenan Allen will probably play out his deal. They're not going to bring him back a second time.
No, no.
So, but I think
I kind of forgot he was there.
that's a great trio. So, are we going to see what do you say, Odunze or Oduns? Are we going to see him in this
I think
game?
it's Odunze.
You think we see him in this Hall of Fame game since he's the number 3 on the roster?
If he wasn't a ninth overall pick, I would say yes. I feel like I just don't think you're going to see him or Caleb.
Yeah, that's true.
I know you're not seeing Caleb. I just think they'll keep him in the same situation as Caleb. Like they're protecting him like their first round pick. I think. I mean, they had 2 in the top 10, so I think Rome gets that same.
What a three-headed monster at wide
Let's see if
receiver,
there's
though.
anything out there. Let's see if the starting line like they had to post starting lineups for this game. I mean,
Yeah, I
based
mean
on,
it's less than a day away. On the other
we'll
side of the
see.
ball, think about the depth on the Texans receiving core too. You have Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs. Um, we could see some good players out there for that.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything. It just says the Tyson Bagent start. I already know that, and the Bears aren't going with starters, so things I already know. But
Imagine we see Tank Dell and Odunze as the ones.
literally,
Probably
well,
not. I'm gonna say no.
Tank Dell's coming back from an injury, so
Oh,
that's
so no
another one. I
shot.
doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt, no shot. He's playing. Um, Yeah, we got NFL football back for the next, 20 I think I
What's
saw
the total? What's the
26
total on that
weeks,
game, Huff? What's the total?
31 and a half.
We probably like the under there, right?
Yeah, what's the I
What's
don't
that
know.
first half? That's your favorite play?
Yeah, true. Do they have that in this? But then that's when you're betting on, like, actually, like, Bajent and those guys to go under, but I feel like for 31 and a half, the first half will be higher than it should be.
Probably 16 and a
It's
half.
not, you can't even bet it on MGM.
Yeah. Keep your
Yeah,
eyes out for that. That could be a sharp play
yeah,
for
if
you.
it's at, like, 17 and a half, I might have to take it to start the year off.
Yeah, might as well. Maybe we'll get that out there. Stay tuned to the Twitter for that. But we got some football back. Hall of Fame game. Always iconic, but not many people watching it.
Yeah,
On
absolutely.
Thursday at 8 o'clock, though. I mean, you never know. There could be worse things on TV.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have with the NFL coming back, we also have Madden 25 coming out in I think 2 weeks, August 16th. EA has begun to announce the overall ratings for the players in the game. I don't know if the quarterbacks are announced. I know I put this note in here. I did save a bunch of these lists.
The Christian McCaffrey game.
As Madden was posting them. Yeah, McCaffrey is the cover, so we will start there with the running backs. I'll just do 5-1. I'm not doing 10-1 for every list. Number 5, Joe Mixon, 91 overall. Number 4, Saquon, 92. Number 3, Derrick Henry, 94. Number 2, Nick Chubb, coming off an injury with a 96. That was kind of surprising to me. I thought they'd give him a little bit of a lower bump coming off the injury, but and then McCaffrey, 99 overall. He did get the 99 nod this year. What else is posted? Wide receivers, number 5, Amon-Ra St. Brown got a huge jump this year to 95. AJ Brown at 95 as well. CeeDee Lamb at 96. Justin Jefferson 98, and the Cheetah Tyreek Hill getting the nod at the 99 club for the receivers. Let's see, and then I did see. Oh yeah, edge rushers here. So Nick Bosa 5 at 96 over. All the edge rushers are always so good. Nine, Nick Bosa 96 overall. Max Crosby 97. T.J. Watt 97. Micah Parsons 98. Myles Garrett 98.
Yeah, I mean, those guys, and there's some depth behind them, too. Look at how high those numbers are. There's a lot of
But there
94
is a drop
edge
off from
rushers,
5 to 6. From 5 to 6, it goes to Josh Hines Allen now, and 91 overall.
which is still pretty high, though.
Alex Highsmith in that top 10 there at 9. I like to see that.
You got two of them.
I didn't notice that. I like that at an 89.
I was like, I might be using those Steelers a little bit here.
And then the only other two that I saw was defensive linemen. The top 3 are Quinnen Williams, 94, Dexter Lawrence, 95, and Chris Jones, 97. And safeties go Minka at 3 with a 93 overall, Antoine Winfield, 94, and Jesse Bates of the Atlanta Falcons at a
He's good.
97 overall.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really debate that list. And Jesse Bates, he's just, if you play Madden, you know that the abilities he has. He's just one of the top ones to use. I just did a franchise with the Falcons, and guy's insane. I can't believe the Bengals let him go.
You haven't gotten NCAA yet, so I assume you'll get Madden when it comes out, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. I mean, it won't be too different. That's the thing everybody says about Madden, but I'm not looking for a different game. I'm just looking to play football.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that college football has been treating you well, though. That's a good game.
Yeah, no, that's I'm definitely still going to get Madden. I'm excited to see how they're different.
And you can carry your my player from the NCAA.
I've heard that.
Madden,
Yeah,
right?
that I literally said that'll be one reason I buy Madden if I can do that.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's see here. We have our top cornerbacks this week. Do you want to get started with this for our top
this one's
5s?
pretty auto.
Mackie did not send a list for this. I usually like to clarify that when someone's not here. So, just me and Ace spitting list this week. Top 5 corners going into next year.
Yeah. I mean, let's go through it a different way. Normally, we talk through our own list. We can kind of go through this one together. The top 5, number 1, it's got to be Sauce Gardner, right? Like, is there any
Yeah,
debate at this point?
I
I
would
know
say
last year we wanted to put him there last year, but we said let's see it again, and he did it again.
I think we all put Surtain there last year, and Surtain's my 2.
Yeah, me too. And then at number 3, you got Jalen Ramsey,
Yep.
and those 3 are bona fide. I mean,
Number 4 is where there's the drop
Gardner,
off.
and that's the big question mark. Let's talk about these first 3 first. Gardner doing it on the Jets for every year he's been in the league. Surtain been doing it for the Broncos, the only mainstay on that defense.
I was going to say the only guy left on that team.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I don't think they ever let him go, at least for a while. He's just a clamp. And then Jalen Ramsey, it's crazy how he's still up there. I mean, you could argue he's number 1 based off of his veteran savvy and whatnot, but those young guys have him by a step for now, I think.
Who do you go to after the top three?
I'm gonna give a nod to the guy who won the Super Bowl. I like McDuffie. I know you
I
could
like
say
McDuffie at
Snead.
4. Yeah.
Really? You like
Yeah.
McDuffie at
I
4?
had that. I had the he was a big part on a Super Bowl winning team. He's young. I think he's
He
already in
was
that top 5.
noticeable. He was
Yeah.
noticeable every game. I mean, the Chiefs are in the prime time every game, right? So we
He
know.
was kind of he helped that defense kind of like Winfield did when the Bucks won
Yeah,
as a
and
rookie.
he stepped right in. Now they've allowed themselves to get rid of L'Jarius Sneed. We know how tight the Kansas City Chiefs cap is. He went to what, Tennessee?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you would have thought 2 years ago, there's no way you're letting that guy go. How are we gonna be able to pay him? They probably thought they were screwed without him, and then this guy jumps onto the scene as a rookie, so he's gonna be doing his thing for a while, but let's see him do it another year. Maybe he can jump past Jalen Ramsey if he does it for another year. I think Jalen's eventually gonna slip. You gotta think at that position age is gonna fall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then at number 5, I'm gonna go with Jair Alexander. I think we're gonna see a lot more of him as the Packers get better too. He's been coming off of injury the last few years too. I think he's still got it in the tank, and he's a strap. Guys like Tariq Woolen come to
I
mind.
like that. I know. I love Jai Alexander at that 5. I was gonna have him at 5 or 6. I thought you were gonna say 5 as a reach. I was gonna give Snead the nod just because also again Super Bowl
Super Bowl
last year,
winner.
big part of a big
Let's
defense.
see him on the Titans though. It's a
I
tougher
was just gonna
defense to
say
play on.
I can't throw him in there just coming out on the Titans. I was maybe gonna go to like a Jalen Johnson on the Bears. He's been good, even though that
He gets a
defense
lot of
hasn't been
reps.
good for the past couple of years. A Denzel Ward on the Browns. There's a lot of guys that could be in that 5 spot,
You know
but
who's gonna be
I
in
do
that
have
5
Jair
spot?
in there.
You know who's gonna be in that top 5 next year when I think Jair and possibly even Jalen fall out next year when we talk about this, because I just think that position can't be older doing it. My boy Christian Gonzalez, if he did not get hurt last year, he
He
would have
would
been
be
pushing
yeah.
for defensive rookie of the year. I don't know if you've seen the tape on him and whatnot, but like that's all we watch in Patriots land here. That's like
Guys,
our biggest one to make the jump this year. I think
I
is
was gonna
Christian
say
Gonzalez.
there's a lot of guys that I think will make a big jump. Like I'm trying to think here. I always I'm looking at this list. I made a like I just looked up a list of cornerbacks.
Charvarius Ward also had a great season, which is crazy because he wasn't that good previously. But with the Niners, I mean, it's not hard to be good on that Niners defense. So
I
that's
was
the
just
one
gonna
thing
say
there.
that's why he's not there for me. He's not enough of a like a on an island truly by himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the
Like
stat.
Surtain and Gardner were truly on. I mean, not maybe Gardner. That defense is better, but that Broncos defense is ass, and Patrick Surtain is still top 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
But
agree.
I think that's a solid list. I think the official list is Gardner, Surtain, Jalen Ramsey, Trent McDuffie, Jair Alexander. I like that.
Yeah, I agree.
But
Um, yeah, that should be a good list there. Guys like Marshawn Lattimore not really up there anymore. You just brought in a good piece with Jackson and that Johnson deal.
Dante Jackson, I
But
like him.
there's a couple other good corners in that NFC South as well. I know that there's AJ Terrell over on the Falcons. You were a
He
big
kind of fell off. He kind of became kind of
and they
underwhelming
and
to
they
me.
brought in help for him too, which is crazy. Like
Yeah,
you would think he would step up with Jesse Bates in that secondary too. Maybe that's why the stars fell a little bit, but it was a second year sophomore slump, right? You know, there could be
maybe
a chance.
do you go to a Devin Witherspoon up there in Seattle who had a
Yeah,
hell of a year
him
last year?
and Woolen both jumped onto the scene. Who's that guy out on Carolina though? They still got a good corner out there. Um,
What's his name? J.C. Horn
yeah, J.C. Horn. I'm a big fan of his
from
game
South
too.
Carolina.
Yeah, and I think he could make that big step onto the list. Yeah, other than that, not too many names come to mind for me that really jump off the scene. But that young guy who was it, Turner Yell from the Bengals, I think he can make some noise. The Ravens, Marlon Humphrey really fallen off the scene. He used to be up there in that list
He
pretty
was on the
highly.
projection to be in that top 5, and he just never got over that hump.
Yeah, he never did. He was always on the outside looking in, and now he's fallen off.
He's like a Jamal Adams. Like he's like a linebacker that's like playing in coverage. You know
Yeah,
what I
and
mean?
that Ravens just their scheme. They're always successful,
Yeah,
so they
yeah.
have a lot of pieces behind them. But those are the top ones I can think of.
That's another way I think of that one though. Like if Marlon Humphrey goes to the Titans, like L'Jarius Sneed just did, like that's an irrelevant.
It's like when Richard Sherman left the Seahawks.
Yep. I was just gonna say, yeah. That the seat. I'm thinking now that those 2 cornerbacks, the Seahawks are building a nice little. That's their thing. They just like having a good secondary. The
They can
Legion of
draft
Boom.
well. Well, the thing is, they're not even elite picks either. They're just good at drafting and developing. They develop linebackers to take over for Wagner pretty quickly too. That's just a good system. And I think that's why they keep Pete Carroll around. He's not coach anymore, but he's in that front office
He's
just
in the front office. Yeah.
because of what he can bring to the team.
Yeah. All right. And then what was it? Last week we did the AFC North. This week we'll take a look at the AFC East, some predictions, division odds. and who we like to take home the AFC East this year. I'm going to give a second to pull this list up for the odds. My NFL or my MGM app wants me to look at the NFL preseason odds. I want futures. Let's see here. And divisions, AFC East. Where you at? Where you at? Let's see. All right,
Everybody
found it.
but my Patriots are favored.
Found it. Yeah, I was just gonna say. Yeah, it's about Vegas thinks it's a 3-man race. Patriots in the last place, running 25 or 20 plus 2,500. I can't talk. Dolphins plus 210, Jets plus 180, and Bills plus 165. How do you feel? Really quick, honestly, while we're in the AFC East, the fuck's going on with the Patriots? Matthew Judon sees you guys have $40 million stashed away in the
Yeah, and
bank,
he
and
wants to take it all.
he's like, no. And on second thought, I'm not showing up to training camp. We have too much
But
money
he
left
is,
over.
showing up, and then he's getting into a fight with our new coach Rod Mayo on the sidelines. There,
And
Mayo
then
handling it well, in my
and
opinion.
the other big one for New England is, I mean, not
Barmore,
as Barrymore, but he's truly going to be out for the year, and that's just like an unfortunate situation. Blood clots, like
and we just gave him the bag too. He got that 4-year deal. He was one of my picks to go. Like, he got injured his rookie year. He was one of my picks to be like a Pro Bowler.
he's so
Maybe
good.
it's yeah, and he's an Alabama product, and he pass rushes well for a D tackle. He can move, but that you just hate to see it. Unfortunate scene. We see it happen to a lot of great players. Medical conditions, I believe, was a blood clot issue.
Yeah,
So he's on the shelf. And then the Patriots made a corresponding move today. Gave Davin Godchow a 2-year deal to make sure they have that D line solidified. Played for the Patriots for a couple of years now, coming out of Miami Dolphins after his rookie season. He can still do the same thing. He's like a light version of Christian Barmore. He brings the same type of game. He's just a little bit older and not as
yeah,
explosive as Barmore.
yeah.
But we got Gonzalez back on the field. I'm happy to see that. A lot of other good pieces. I wouldn't even be mad if the Patriots traded Judon right now. You can get a lot for him.
That's a
But
good point too. That'd
you
be a
got
good deadline trade.
yeah, I'd even sell him right now because the only thing he could do is hurt his value by sitting out more and more, and then we just end up selling him for like a fourth or something, which
I
would
was just
suck.
gonna, but what I was just gonna say, what do you even think you're gonna get for him now? Like, I'm surprised. Like, Ayuk was going for 2 second-rounders. Like, that's like Judon might
I'd
be a
take a
third.
second. I'd take a second,
That's what I
but
mean. Like, I think that's
I would
max
I
what
would
you
also
get.
be very happy if we just re-signed him and kept him too, because he's a great player.
Yeah,
But you can't be doing that. But we could figure it out. Elliot Wolf, new GM now. No more Bill Belichick. I think him and Mayo got a tighten ship there. Been listening to some of the talk radio around here. They're saying you got to figure it out. Can't just let him on the field if he's not to a contract. I saw Ayuk on the field talking with John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan today at San Francisco too. They got to rein in these free agents a lot more and guys that are holding out on their contracts and just not allow them access to the facility or get the deal done and be straight up with them. The playing the games is a tough thing to see, but hopefully the Patriots can get past that and keep it going. But let's get back to our AFC East insight here, real quick. Who do you think is going to win the division? No explanation.
I'm probably gonna go with the Bills.
Really? I'll go with the Dolphins this year. I think, which is surprising. If we had Mackey on here, I think he'd be taking the Jets maybe because a lot of people are high on them with that roster, high expectations for Rodgers after missing that season last year, and then everything they put together. People are so high on Brees Hall too, and then
I
you
just
Garrett
don't.
Wilson and
My one
Sauce.
thing with the Bill, I would go Bills, Dolphins, Jets, and then Patriots. Obviously, just for all obvious reasons. But I think the Bills. I mean, they have the best
They have
quarterback.
nobody
Dolphins.
left though. They have nobody.
I was just gonna say that's what scares me is everybody left. I'm truly just trusting Josh Allen to run this division right now.
Improve people wrong, kinda.
Yeah, like I think Keon Coleman's gonna be a stud, but that's about all they
No,
have
I
left up
think
there.
Dalton Kincaid is going to have a huge year.
Kincaid, Knox,
Josh Allen went out and told the Buffalo Bills brass to go out and draft him, and he's going to get his targets. And then they brought in Keon Coleman, like you said. I think they brought in Valdez Scantling from the Chiefs as
and they had brought
well.
in a couple of random receivers.
Yeah, like some depth veteran receivers that can actually do a good job and be successful there. I mean, he made Gabriel Davis lead the league in touchdowns.
I
His first
truly
season
don't
the last
think
few
they'll
years.
miss. This might be a crazy statement. I don't think they'll miss Stephon Diggs.
I think they will on the big plays, but they still didn't really hit on them. Josh Allen always came up with the big plays. I think the tight ends might be a safer bet.
Yeah,
How many times did he miss Stephon
James
Diggs to
Cook,
lose playoff games?
like that offense is still good. James Cook, Dalton Kincaid,
Did
Dawson
they bring in
Knox.
Singletary too?
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, I believe so. And I think that team they can be successful, but even the defense is lacking now. They lost a lot more guys. They lost
Yeah,
Poyer. Poyer went down to those Dolphins.
yeah,
You know what really hurt the Dolphins though was they went out and brought in Shaquille Barrett as their big pass rusher, and he retired.
yeah.
he just randomly
He
retired.
literally was like, I saw that last week or 2 weeks ago, but I don't know. Was he really that big of a name to bring
I
in at
think
this
he
point?
was. I mean, he's a great piece to add to it. Think about where they were. He would make a difference in a playoff game. Remember that playoff game that they lost the last few years? He has the Super Bowl pedigree with the Bucks, but they
The
brought him. They brought in Poyer too. I love that move. I just
Dolphins also lost Wilkins. That was like their face of the defense.
Christian
But they're
Wilkins.
getting Jalen
They,
Phillips back. They didn't have him last year.
They
He
have
tore his
Bradley Chubb
ACL.
still. They have a few
Yeah.
other young guys, but on the offensive side of the ball, I liked what they did by bringing in Odell Beckham Jr. I don't think there were many valuable landing spots for him, but that's one of them because as a wide receiver 3, he can be very successful behind Waddle and Hill, especially in Mike McDaniel's offense where he plays to their strengths. Tua Tagovailoa got that big paycheck. Then everybody loves Devin Achane. You have Mostert there as well, led the league in touchdowns, but Achane, people are looking at him to pop off this year.
I was gonna say he's projected in fantasy to be like
A top
unreal.
5 pick? I
Yeah.
mean, he's boom or bust big time. We saw it last year. If he can stay on the field, then he's a top end pick, but can he stay on the field? I don't know. My Patriots, I don't think they're gonna make too much noise. We're gonna start the year with Brissett. Think about this, if the Patriots had Jacoby Brissett the last few years instead of Mac Jones with that defense and the way the games went, they might have
It
had
would
a
have been it would have been a different.
they could have been a 500 team,
Yeah.
which is
I
crazy.
also saw something today that said Joe Milton is outperforming Drake May at camp. I'm not like saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love a good
They
training
both
camp
look really
headline
good
like
though.
that.
Even the Patriots, like brass, everybody loves Joe Milton too. Imagine if he went somewhere else, he could press for a real job. It just seems like he's kind of hosed over being in that spot. But I like having him in my QB room. We went from Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi to Milton May and Jacoby Brissett. I like this room a lot better.
You know what that's like is like when the Redskins drafted RG3 and then a couple rounds later it took Kirk
Kirk
Cousins.
Cousins, yeah. And dude, Milton was a good pick. That's a late pick, and he looks great in camp too. He has the cannon, the footwork a little bit better from Drake May, and he's a little bit more polished. I think he has more upside too. But Milton could be a interesting option if he
He
ever
could
did
just
see
be
the
like
field.
a gunslinger that like a Jameis Winston type.
Yeah,
He could get good for like 30
literally, that's a good
touchdowns, but
comparison.
also 30 interceptions.
Yeah, big arm though, and he can run. He's mobile. I like having him in the locker room, but Brissett will be common to the offense. The rookie receivers, that's what I'm excited to see for New England. Jalen Polk really jumping onto the scene.
Who's the
Um,
guy that said he makes people in hand or
Javante
wheelchairs?
Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those come out of UCF. But Polk, I think, is going to be a legit number one option. And then Demario Douglas, he was actually pretty solid last year too. Still
Yeah.
born too. Brought back Henry and Ramondre. Brought in Antonio Gibson, but it's really that Patriots defense that's going to make noise. I think they'll be a little bit more competitive than last year. I don't think they're going to be finishing top 3 in the picking, even though they're projected to finish last in the league because of their tough division. But I don't know. I got the Dolphins here. I think Mike McDaniel's the best coach in that division. A lot of people like McDermott. People hated on Salah. That's one thing that scares me too about these Jets. I don't know about you. Is that coaching staff like? Is Salah actually a good coach? They were talking about getting rid of him last year.
I don't know. They were saying he lost the team and all that stuff, but I don't know. I'm not big on the Jets coming into this year. I just think it's I don't know. I don't think that team is that great. Like they have
But it's
names all
stacked
over
on
the
paper.
roster.
They have
Yeah.
the O line. They have Aaron Rodgers. Can he be healthy? I don't think so, but we'll see. They have Brees Hall. They have Garrett Wilson. Not too many great other receiving options. I believe they have Conklin as a tight end. But that defense is stacked, and that's been the one consistent thing is that defense will keep them in games. So you gotta think Rodgers can do something though, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
do you think they're a playoff team?
I think they'll be right around that right at the last wild card or right there. Like
I think the Bills are going to lose their stranglehold on the division this year. I could see them plummet as far as 4th, but the thing is, Josh Allen's too good. Like, he keep them around? He's literally the only thing left. I
I think
think
Josh
this is
Allen's
the.
good for at least 3 divisional wins every year.
I think if Josh Allen and the Bills tank and come in 3rd or 4th this year, not tank, but if they just have a bad season, that might be the best thing to happen to Josh Allen. Because I think they might clean house, get rid of McDermott, who can't win the big games, finally get rid of him, and then maybe truly rebuild that team to Josh Allen's strength.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the weapons he has at all.
I
Kincaid, I like. That's
I
it.
like we'll see how Keon Coleman cook and I like that Cook, Coleman, and Kincaid.
Yeah. Literally, the K's and the C's, but we'll have to see how they pan out. There's a lot of ifs there for
Yeah.
Buffalo. I think that Miami's the most electric team. They can put up points with the best of them, but the Jets team is going to be pesky all year long, especially with that top end defense they have.
Yeah.
Patriots too. They're going to get a little bit better here, some development, but not projected to compete this season.
Absolutely. Let's move over into the MLB. Like we said, we have the NFL coming for the next 26 weeks. I think we have football, so that is definitely something to keep your eye out for. Hall of Fame game tomorrow night or tonight when you're listening to this. Make sure you're checking out our social media. We'll get some plays out. But we will transfer back over into the MLB, where the season is in full swing, just coming out of the All-Star break from early last week. We have our power rankings heading into this week with the New York Yankees, the surging Yankees at number 5, the Baltimore Orioles at number 4, the Cleveland Guardians at number 3, the Philadelphia Phillies, who freshly just got swept by the Yankees before we made this list was before this series, so I feel like I should say that. Phillies at 2 and Dodgers at 1. Um, how do you feel about this list? I think we're going to see some pretty good change come next week.
Yeah, and we kind of knew this change was going to come too, and we said it was going to come right around the trade deadline, which we're going to recap here shortly. But we knew a lot of this was coming. The Dodgers, I know they're really good, but the Yankees are shooting back up with what they've got cooking now. That team's looking much better than that thin, depleted lineup it was before.
All
Um,
these teams were buyers at the deadline, which I mean they should be. They're the top teams in the league, but
yeah,
like it really
some
comes
buying
down to
more
who
than
made the
others. The
pieces that
Orioles,
fit.
the Orioles making the big moves. The Guardians actually made some big pickups. I like their ad with
I
the
liked their moves, like Lane Thomas. I love
yeah.
that fit for him. Like
But the Yankees did the best thing. They got Giancarlo Stanton back healthy, and then they added Jazz Chisholm. I mean, he has 4 or 5 home runs in his first few games as a Yankee. They've been putting up big numbers, and now before we were talking about it was just Soto and Judge, the left-right power bats in that lineup. Now you have another left-right combo with Jazz and Giancarlo, and it makes everybody else in that lineup much more deadly as well. Moving down, Rice down in the 7th or
5,
9th
7. I
spot.
was gonna say even 6
Vol
through 7
Volpe
spot.
down there too. Austin Wells, they hit much better in those spots. So getting more at bats.
Who leads off now? Chisholm.
I believe it is Jazz. Let me check. Let me
I would maybe send Volpe then Soto then
Verdugo.
Judge.
No, Volpe's been terrible. He's got to sit at the bottom. He's like a 9 hitter, 8 hitter. Let me see
He
what
has been bad.
they started with today. It goes Torres is back as well. Gleyber Torres, then Soto, Judge, Stanton, Jazz, Volpe, Verdugo, LeMahieu,
That's a
and then
joke.
Wells. That's a much better lineup. Think
Yeah,
about it.
that's a joke.
Before it was Soto, Judge, Austin Wells, and then everybody else that
And Ben
stinks.
Rice.
Yeah, like come on. So that team's gonna turn up. I think the Royals are gonna get back into our top list. I honestly do. I don't know about
They're
you.
good. They're
Royals,
good.
maybe the Braves. They brought in Jorge Soler. I like that move too.
That's their only move they made though.
Yeah, you know who was the big winners of the deadline? In my opinion, I thought the Orioles had a great trade deadline. They went out and got
The-
Trevor Rogers. They got Eloy Jimenez. They-
Eflin or
Zach Eflin. That was a great trade because he's a stud coming from Tampa Bay. They moved a lot of young guys though. They moved Norby.
I really thought the Orioles were going to be the team to get Crochet, and they just didn't do it.
I knew that. I said this on the pod last week. They weren't moving Crochet. You'd be stupid too. He's a young guy on that staff. You got to keep him around because he's great. But the Yankees and the Orioles tied records now, Huff. I mean, that's going to be an electric finish between those two teams, and they added big time. We talked about the Guardians a little bit. The Astros added Kikuchi to their mix. I mean, I think the Astros team is going to be scary. They actually lost the division lead to the Mariners lately, who have been getting hot again. My Red Sox handed them a loss the other day, but they're in a tight one right now. They added a couple bats too. Seattle did. Um,
Evan
what
Turner, Randy Rosarina.
Randy Rosarina is a pretty big name. I didn't think he was going to get dealt. I don't know about you, but the Rays have they're like the Pirates in their turnover, but they still compete somehow. I don't know how they do it.
I feel like the Rays were at a point where they're in a pretty realistic spot where they knew they weren't making a playoff run and they knew they weren't going to have those guys for much longer anyway, like
Yeah, they
Paredes and
always do that. They always
yeah,
do that. Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow,
yep.
like literally, they move on from it at the right time. Carl Crawford, like
They
TJ
might do it a
Upton,
year too early sometimes, but in the long run, it's the right
it
move.
pays off. Yeah, and they develop people better than anybody else that I've seen. You guys
They
made
did
a
it
nice.
with who was the guy on the Pirates that I used to like that we traded to them with Glass now. Austin Meadows. They sent
Oh
him
yeah,
to
yep,
Detroit before he came and no one.
yep.
He was good for Tampa Bay, and then they traded him, and he was nothing.
Will Myers, they sent him out to San Diego. Like they do a lot of different crazy things. But another team that made a lot of moves was the Marlins. They made a deal with the Diamondbacks, who brought in some good pieces.
Mm-hmm.
They made a deal with you guys. They made a deal with the Orioles. They sent out Puck. They sent out Scott. All their relievers,
I
Hoeing.
love our Brian De La Cruz edition.
Yeah,
I
they
was
sent out De La Cruz as well. But
Josh Bell.
but they brought in a ton of good young pieces. I think great moves by the Marlins. I think they were a trade deadline winner, honestly. They got more than they should have for the pieces they moved. The pieces they moved will be good for everybody else, but they aren't as good as what they were giving up, in my opinion. I think
The price was so high.
you got one of the top ones in De La Cruz. There wasn't any big fireworks. We didn't see Rooker get moved. We didn't see Lewis Robert Jr. I think another winner it has to be the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Oh,
They added Jack Flaherty for not
I
too
was
much.
gonna say the cherry on top was Flaherty 2 minutes before the deadline, and they gave up nothing for him.
Yeah, they gave up nothing, not any of their top names that we were looking for because they have a lot of guys hovering around there. They brought in Kevin Kiermaier too. They brought in,
That's just like a depth piece. That's not even
yeah,
a he'll play every day. Yeah.
that's a team that wants to win a World Series. You go get a guy like that. I think they brought in some bullpen help with Michael Kopech too.
Hmm.
I thought that was a good move. That's a team that just knows how to put together a good roster, win the World Series. But it's crazy to me that all the teams in the NL wildcard race, they bought something for deadline. The Diamondbacks, the Padres, the Cardinals, the Pirates, the
Mets,
Braves, the Mets, all of them bought at the deadline. So that's going to be a fun finish to follow.
Pirates, and Mets did a trade. It was pretty a relevant one. It was like a relief pitcher for a minor leaguer kind of thing, but um, I don't know who it was. I think the Pirates got a relief pitcher, and we immediately sent
You
him to
guys moved
AAA.
Martin Perez too. I think you sent him to San Diego.
Yeah,
There's a lot of under the radar moves like that. I think
he has it. He was so bad for us this year.
yeah, he just eats innings, but everybody's in the hunt and everybody made moves. I like that. It's crazy because you had to really dive into these deals to be excited with what went down. Names like
Hmm.
Josh Bell being moved, like little pieces that will pay off dividends in the
I don't
playoffs.
know about you. My favorite part about I don't care what league it is, NBA, NHL, NFL, MLB, the day of the deadline, there's nothing better than just sitting on Twitter.
Watching it all come in.
Yeah, either sitting on Twitter or watching ESPN and literally being like, "Holy shit!" Like it could be something as minor as like Josh Bell just got traded to the Diamondbacks. I'm like,
Mhm.
all right, cool, that's pretty cool. Like
Yeah,
I like knowing it as soon as it happens. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Our teams were able to pull off a nice deal. It's only for MLB
I was gonna say,
aficionados. A
and
couple of prospects with Priester and York being
I
dealt to
was I was
UCLA.
just gonna say, and dude, Gonzalez just went down for about I think it's a month and a half. Like, is there a chance that kid comes up already? He's only in AAA.
Yeah, he was hitting well at AAA too, and he was a big prospect for us. The thing is, you guys were crowded with starting pitchers in the minors with Priester. We were crowded with middle infielders, so that's a good spot for both teams. And I think York is going to come up. I saw he was projected to come up at the end of August, which would have been early for the
Dude,
Red
I
Sox.
think he
But
I think he could be coming up for us in like seriously the next 3 weeks with this Gonzalez injury.
that'd be exciting. Got to see what you got. I don't think it'll be for too long, at least, but you might as well. If he stays hot like he is in AAA right now, he might stick around for a while.
Yeah, they'll find a spot for him. The utility guy, whatever. He
I'm
just
excited to
seems
see De La Cruz, though. Like you said, I think that's going to be a nice piece to your lineup.
our new outfield's going to be what? Who do you think it'll be? Reynolds, De La Cruz, and like
Well, they're gonna platoon on the other side. Sawinski's gonna platoon because he can't hit. What is it? He can't hit lefties or he can't hit righties. He can't hit one of them.
one of them he can't hit. Yeah,
Yeah. So that's what a lot of teams are gonna do. It's kind of gonna be like Atlanta, how they're having Soler start in the outfield, which is crazy because he should be a DH, but you have Ozuna, and then on the other side they're gonna have like Michael Harris in center, and then Kelenic is gonna platoon with I think it's Rosario or whoever the
yeah.
else they got out in the
Because like
outfield.
I don't know, Palacios hasn't been that good, but I do like him. But obviously, if you're deciding between Palacios and De La Cruz, it's a no brainer.
Yeah, for sure. It's a nice bat to add to the middle line, a little bit more solidifying. But a lot of great moves in the deadline, very under the radar. And you know what's going to be crazy? As we start talking about the MLB playoffs, I bet you a lot of the trade deadline acquisitions is what we're going to be talking about. Crazy to me that the Orioles didn't add a closer, though, with Craig Kimbrell kind of blowing up right now.
No Mason Miller move. That was another big name.
Well, he's on
everyone-
the thing is he's on the IL right now. I think they kind of threw a wrench into a lot of things.
True. Yeah.
So, but a lot of great moves.
Who were a couple of the big names that were supposed to get moved that didn't?
Brooker, Robert
Luis
Jr.,
Robert,
Tariq
Rooker,
Skubal.
Vladdy,
Yeah.
Bobichette.
Tariq Skubal was the big pitching guy. He's going to probably win the AL Cy Young, and he was on the block. But nothing. My team didn't make too many moves. We did under the radar.
The Pirates
bullpen
did
stuff.
exactly what I thought they were going to do. Go get one guy that's exciting enough to be like, wow, the Pirates bought at the
Well,
deadline.
no, they had to keep pace with the rest of the wild card. They know they're ahead of schedule, and everybody made like one or two moves if you're in that wild card race. Nothing
Yeah.
crazy. I think the Padres sold the most by giving all those prospects to the Marlins. But other than that, I think everybody else paid good prices. I think the Cardinals made a really good move by bringing in Eric Fetty. Honestly, I think they brought in someone else too, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
I think that I said it a couple weeks ago. I didn't think that Cardinals team makes the playoffs. Now I think they do.
Yeah,
The way they're playing right now, and they're just shit stomping the Rangers the past few days. I know my Pirates just beat them, but I think that's going to be a tough out. I think the Braves and Cardinals are likely to be two of the three wildcard teams. I'd like to hope my team can sneak in there or kick the Cardinals out. It's going to be tough for three NL Central teams to make the playoffs. But that Cardinals team is scary, but luckily my Pirates play them a good bit, and we do have their numbers. So I'd like to hope we can hand them some losses, and if it comes down to same record, we go to head to head, and Pirates already have that, so we just got to keep pace with them. But I think that
Big
Cardinals team
that
is good.
big last series for you guys. But not to go against either of those two teams. I think it's going to be someone else. I think it's the Mets. I like the Padres. Even the D-backs are the scary one because they went.
I like the Padres too. I there's so many teams there that I'm like I
Yeah,
could see any combination of these teams
the
making it.
D-backs though might be the most talented team that was underperforming. They were just in the World Series last year, so they know what it takes.
I also think that
Machado's been hot for the Padres since he came back. The Mets are pretty stacked. They don't have the pitching, even though they brought in Blackburn. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways you can look at it. No team is perfect in that race, so you could
in
find your way in.
I was just gonna say, in 2 weeks, I think you'll have a very good idea of what's going on. Mackie was talking about this gauntlet that my Pirates had, and they're on prefer just sweeping the Astros right now. I mean, they just continue to win games, which I mean, I know we had a kind of at least the easy start when we got that good record out to the front, and then we kind of started to struggle a little bit, but I don't know. It's kind of back for the Pirates. I like to think that they'll have a chance, but it's more me being a delusional fan that hasn't been to the playoffs in about I think it's 9 years now for the Pirates, but um, definitely would love to see that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to follow for sure.
Yeah, I think that's about what we got in baseball. We already went over our power rankings. That was the trade deadline recap, which came and went yesterday at 6 p.m. Lastly, we have the Olympics golf, which tees off this Thursday. The United States participants are Scotty Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, Wyndham Clark, and Colin Morikawa.
It's a squad.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I'm trying to find what the betting format is for this. Like, I'm just gonna. All right, let's see. Golf.
You could probably bet by country.
I think it's men's Olympic golf because like Scotty can win gold and Xander can win silver. It's not like the U.S. is a scramble. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's like Scotty can win gold, Xander can win silver, and Rory can win bronze.
It's
You know what I mean?
individual score, but your
Yeah,
country representation.
yeah. Like
You could
your
probably
medal
bet
goes towards your country, but like if me and you are representing the U.S.,
we could both
you
medal.
can win and I can shoot 12 over, and you medal, but I don't.
Yeah, it's individual medals then.
Yeah,
It's individual competition.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like the
It's like
gymnastics.
It's like swimming when Phelps can swim next to another American, but Phelps is getting a gold and that guy's going to get a silver. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. Do you think we have a good chance at a gold here?
The favorite. I just found the odds. So the favorite's obviously Scotty at plus 350. I feel like this event is. I know Xander's done it before. It's obviously in a completely different location. It was in Tokyo in 2020 or 2021, whenever they did those COVID Olympics. I'm going to be betting Scotty to win this.
Yeah,
I know it's only plus
Scotty
350.
year.
I was just gonna say, and he only got the one major. I think that this is gonna be
He
the
was
second
saving it for
one.
this.
He was saving it for the Olympics. I think you're gonna hear all of those things. Give me Scotty Scheffler plus 350 to take home the Olympic gold medal this weekend.
I like those odds too. They're not as low as I thought they'd be.
Like a long shot, I'd probably go with another American and take like Morikawa plus 900. Like, I you maybe could take. Oh no, you couldn't take all four. You could take. Where's Wyndham Clark at? He's not even in this top. Let's see. Damn, where's he at, bro? Plus 7,000 for Wyndham Clark. Damn. All right. I like Scotty, but my value play would probably be Morikawa at 9-1. Rory McIlroy can't win the big one. He's not going to win a gold medal. Xander, who I think has done it before. I don't know if he medaled in the last one. I know he was at the 2021 Olympics. But I'm going to go with Scheffler, Morikawa, but I hate to go against my boy Xander, who's been so hot this year.
I'm going with Scotty. Like it's
I'm gonna go with Scotty to win it all this year.
This will be fun to watch though.
Yeah.
It concludes Sunday, right?
Yeah, it's just like a PGA event.
Yep.
It's just like any other major.
Cool.
But the only thing is, it's going to be like the British Open timing. Like they're going to be teeing off at 5 a.m. here.
But but they're already used to it. They've been there since the opening
Yeah,
ceremony.
no. I'm saying for us, from a watching standpoint,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you wake up tomorrow morning and it's going to be like some of the guys are going to be 3 holes in, 4
That's
holes
kind
in.
of nice though, honestly.
Yeah, I love it when I work from home because I'm
Yeah.
like when there's pro golf on when I'm working from home. I'm usually in the office on Thursdays, but like today or this week I'm off tomorrow, so I'm literally second I log on to work tomorrow morning, NBC watching. I don't know what time any of those guys tee off. I probably should look at that tonight, but I know it starts tomorrow morning, and that's. I mean, as excited I am for the basketball. I'm definitely as excited for this golf because I don't remember watching this in the last one, and I'm way more of a golf fan now than I ever was in my
And we should
lifetime in the
win because we had
Olympics.
the
So,
favorite.
yeah,
Favorite.
I was just gonna say. So we have the favorite, Scotty Scheffler. He's probably my favorite athlete in this Olympics, other than some of those basketball guys like LeBron and them. But Love Scotty. I'd love to see him win this. Let's bring this home. I'm going to take him at plus 350 to win this gold. You probably can shop that and get maybe 400, 450 somewhere. I definitely shop that around. I don't even know if 350 is the best price, but I think that is all we had this week. We had a big week in the MLB with the trade deadline. NFL is back tomorrow. Make sure you're staying tuned to the social media. We'll get some plays out there. We are 1-1 on the day so far with a play coming tonight. By the time you're listening to this, that will be over. But make sure you turn those post notifications on. Don't miss any of our plays, both on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure you're following us on all 4 platforms. What are they? Rumble, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter. There's more than
You
that.
got him. You
5.
got him.
I don't know. There's more than that. I think there's 5 or 6 that we post on. But yeah, I think that's all we got. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys this weekend. We'll try to get a live stream in. If not, we'll see you next week for the podcast.